Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Consortium Broadcasting channel. I'm excited to announce that my finals are over, so I'm hoping to get into more of a consistent recording schedule here. So today I have an absolute corker of a replay from vurhd1 in ROHAN. Here he's in his T57 tank, or T57 Heavy tank that is. Again, a huge thank you to adeadman1 for recording this. It looks really great, and now it's just up to me at my end to make sure that the audio is not unsynced like it was last time. Sorry about that. But anyway, the T57 Heavy tank is the American Tier 10 autoloading heavy tank. It's most often compared to the AMX-50B from the French heavy tank line. Except the main differences between these tanks: the T57 gets better total clip reload. I think it's between 21 and 23 seconds with a good crew, and vurhd has a really good crew. It also gets a shorter amount of time between shots, 2 seconds on the T57 as opposed to 2.5 seconds on the 50B. The T57 is a bit slower than the AMX-50B, but it gets a tougher turret that's also smaller, so it's more survivable in brawl situations, and that helps because when you're firing, this thing actually will reload the next shot before it's finished aiming, as vurhd puts a couple into this Centurion 7-1 and blind fires the last couple shells in the clip. So the T57 really is better suited to close range brawl situations, which is why I think vurhd went to the town here. Good choice by him. Whereas the 50B is better suited for long range engagements. So anyway, there's a mouse, and vurhd is reloaded already. My goodness, this thing loads quickly. Vurhd will do a lot of reloading in this video, but thankfully the downtime isn't quite as much as it would be with other autoloaders. He keeps his gun pretty hot, so that's good news. This thing can really pump out the damage. So, yeah, the T57, it's one of the few autoloading tanks that has really high DPM, just because it gets all of its shots off so quickly and it reloads the clip really quickly and unloads the clip really quickly, as this mouse is about to find out. vurhd takes a hit from the mouse, but he's just pummeling shots through this thing's lower frontal plate. Horrible job angling by the mouse, as vurhd is able to do over 1,600 damage in 6 seconds to the mouse. So all of a sudden the mouse is only on 631 hit points, and he's not looking too clever at all. vurhd is almost reloaded. The mouse is still trying to process just what hit him, and vurhd's already reloaded, as we've down 4-0 already. We're starting to pull the scores back. It's 4-1 now. But it's time for vurhd to get his gun back in the action. There's an AMX-50B. One shot into the 50B. There's two. 50B decides to run away. Good idea, because you don't want to sit around when the T57 is unloading in you. That's the E75. Takes a hit. Come on, guys. There's shots for everybody. Yep, and the E5 is even pulling out. And there's the armor of the T57 Heavy getting a ricochet from its non-autoloading Tier 10 counterpart, the T110 E5. So now, time for vurhd to back into hard cover, even though there's no artillery, but it's a good idea to back into hard cover and put something immovable between you and the enemy, as vurhd is loaded in time to finish off the AMX-50B. He's done over 4,000 damage. Still has 2 shells in the clip, which is just enough to finish off this hapless E75. So now scores are 5-6. vurhd's on 2 kills and 4,700 damage. He knows that his 3 allies can probably finish off the mouse, and seeing that his base is at least being threatened potentially by the enemy tanks, he decides to relocate. Now, the T57 is not as fast as the 50B, but it's still relatively mobile. It's not as slow as a mouse. So it's a good idea for vurhd to relocate here and try and get into draw range of some of these enemy tanks, like the TVP 5051, who's a good player. I know I played with him. We were clanmates for a bit, so He's got his own YouTube channel if you want to see some really good stuff. I think it's Bloop Gaming or something. Don't quote me on that. I'll link it in the description. But now vurhd is, after finishing off the 1390, is starting to unload on this Jagdtiger. 2 to 3 shots go in, and it's time for vurhd to reload again. He's got just 1 clip of AP ammo left. The T57 doesn't really carry a lot of ammunition, and so vurhd's down to just 4 rounds of AP, 8 rounds of heat, and one clip of high explosive ammunition. We're trying to get shots on this TVP. First shot misses, second shot tracks him, third shot goes in, fourth shot misses. Oh, this is not a sniping tank. As scores are now 9-8 in favor of vurhd's team. 10-8 as we're able to take out the dangerous TVP 5051. And now it's time for vurhd to get a little bit closer and play to the strengths of his tank. Still kind of a long-range engagement for the T57, but the Centurion isn't looking this way, so it's time to try and pick up the kill. First shot hit something there, second shot goes in. vurhd's putting a lot of faith in some snapshots here, not fully aimed shots, but it's paying off for him, and like I said, he's got a really good crew, and he's a really good player, so props to vurhd1 for really squeezing the most out of his tank. He's over 6,000 damage now, and that's not counting the blind shots we fired earlier at the Centurion 7-1. vurhd's starting to take stock of his ammo situation. He's only got 10 rounds left, and that's not enough to kill the entire enemy team. And that's not even accounting for the fact that 4 of those are high explosive shells. So, unless he was able to shoot them at the Waffenträger, it's very unlikely that they will do as much damage as is listed. So the 907 was the last spotted on the western end of the map here, but there's no sign of him as the 113 is getting really brave, pushing across the middle of the open field with an unspotted Waffenträger. But speaking of Waffenträger, there's one now. 907's also been spotted on the other flank, so vurhd is free to continue his push over the field and try and support his teammates here. His 6 shells. Waffenträger is on 881 hit points. Aiming in, 1 shot goes in, and the 113, after taking a wicked hit from the Waffenträger, is able to finish him off before the dangerous German autoloader can reload. And vurhd's actually reloading high explosive right now. I'm not sure if that's what he wanted, because he immediately starts reloading a heat clip. The high explosive would have been nice against the Waffenträger, but it's not going to do much against more heavily armored tanks like the Object 907 or even the TVP VTU. So we just lost the 4502A. 113 and T123 are harassing that TVP, but they've got support in the form of that Object 907, who's no slouch himself. He's on 3 kills, and he's in a Russian hovermed, so never underestimate Russian medium tanks, because just when you think you've got them killed, they'll bounce something, or they'll pop up somewhere, or they'll set you on fire, and just in general do annoying Russian things. But enough about Russian tanks. Here's a Czechoslovakian one, as vurhd just can't seem to hit it. As the T95 finishes him off, there's 3 shells that vurhd really wants back, because even though this 907 is a 1 shot for him, he only has 1 more shell to load, and it's probably a good idea to put them together, but unfortunately it takes as much time to load 1 shell or 2 shells into the tank as it does 4. So he's going to try his luck with 1 and trust that if he can't kill him... Oh, nice bounce. Never mind, he doesn't have to trust anything. He's able to finish off the Object 907 and pick up his 5th kill. He did just short of 7,000 damage that we can see. Remember, there were a couple of blind shots taken there. But just a great overall game by vurhd1 and his T57, just keeping his tank alive. He had 1,400 hit points by the end of the game, and just dealing out oodles and oodles of damage. That was really fun to watch. It's not often you get to see one player just go to town on the enemy team, but vurhd certainly did that, and he kept his gun firing in this game. So, just how much damage did he do? Let's take a really quick look at the post-game stats. Unsurprisingly, this was a mastery badge for vurhd1 as well as a high caliber. He also got his first mark of excellence in this game, and his play leads me to believe that it won't be long before he gets his second and perhaps his third. So it looks like one of his blind shots did connect. He did over 7,000 damage, 7,325 damage, and 5 kills. That's good for 1,219 base experience. He fired 31 shots, 22 hit, and of those 21 penned. So when his gun didn't just miss, he made his shots count. And almost 3,000 of that was done from a distance of more than 300 meters, which is quite impressive for what's often seen as a close-range tank. He traveled over 3 kilometers, and he's fired so much of his ammunition that if he hadn't had a premium count, he actually would have lost money. But as it was, he made 21,000 credits to go along with the almost 1,900 base experience he had. This wasn't a double or anything. So quite an impressive game by vurhd1. Thank you so much for submitting this. I will definitely have to get the T57 Heavy after watching you tear up the enemy in this one. It was a pleasure to watch, so thank you. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, or just leave a like, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.